talking. Okay. Got to start positive. The Vikings won. The offense, you really can't say anything bad about the offense other than Diggs obviously dropping another easy touchdown.
3rd down and 3. Going for the end zone for Diggs, and it's through his hands.
Diggs is open on the 7 cut, and there's the football, and that's a drop.
But time to give Cousins a little bit of credit. I think I said last week, if this Vikings defense was really as good as they say it is, they could win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. This team could win a Super Bowl with Cousins. There's no doubt they could. A lot of it comes down to play calling. Just Cousins is like a mirror who reflects whatever the play calling is. Phenomenal play calling, I thought, all game. In fact, some really brave play calls late in the game to put the game away. And you call plays the right way with Cousins, he will reward you. Admittedly, this is not a great defense he played, so he's still got to prove it against, a really good team, particularly under the lights. But I'm starting to believe in him. I'm starting to believe he believes in himself. The team believes in him. I think there's some mojo going here with this offense, and Dalvin Cook is certainly helping. And he's a huge component of that, making Cousins' job a lot easier. But this offense is easily good enough to win a Super Bowl. To honor Cousins. I've said a lot of bad things about him, and it's all been justified based on how he's performed. I need my perfect pocket, and I need to be 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, exactly, with no wind, because I'm Kirk Cousins. Give me my cauliflower crust pizza, because I'm Kirk Cousins. And so I've criticized him for needing everything perfect. The perfect pocket, the perfect cauliflower crust on his pizza. And you know what? I went ahead and I bought cauliflower crust pizza at Costco, and I ate it in honor of Kirk Cousins and his great performance the past couple weeks. And it's great. This cauliflower crust, you guys should try it. It tastes almost just like regular pizza, and it's only like double the cost. Sort of like Kirk Cousins a little bit. He's just like any other quarterback, but double the cost. They could win a Super Bowl with this offense, but they won't because their defense sucks. In particular, their pass defense is just horrendous. They don't get consistent pressure on the quarterback with their line. Overrated defensive line.
Vikings get their 2nd sack of the game. So now 3rd and 20.
Their secondary breakdowns in coverage left and right, and then frickin' Xavier Rhodes, 30-yard pass interference penalty right out of the gate, as usual. If it's not a pass interference penalty, it's holding, it's illegal contact, it's horse collar, hands to the face. This guy, he can do any penalty you want, he can get it for you. And basically they ran the exact same play twice in the game from like inside the 5-yard line, just a quick out pass to Marvin Jones. Rhodes, it's a carbon copy, does the exact same thing, never looks for the ball, just puts his arm out. And yeah, if you're lucky enough that Stafford throws it exactly to the point where your arm is, yeah, you'll knock the ball down. You're relying on luck rather than actually skill or some sort of concerted effort. I'd rather have Laquan Treadwell as the number 3 receiver than Rhodes at corner.
Look at this. Getting both of the Tootsies down.
And a hoofer by the name of Buck Wing was getting ready to shake his Tootsies.
Mike Hughes is super talented, I think. Just very green and raw. But I would rather see him get those plays. Put Mike Hughes out there, let him make some mistakes, and build up to, maybe become a number 1 corner. Even Trey Waynes, I don't have any confidence in him. I don't trust him at all, but he can make an interception once in a while like he did in this game.
Usually a DB is not as adept at doing this, but look, and get both down and gets a 3rd one down. And a 4th one down.
Everybody's better than Xavier Rhodes. He never makes a good play. He never does anything. And the freaking attitude, this guy. I've seen this for years. From day one, I've seen it with this guy. From day one, there's something wrong with this guy's head. You make a mistake, you try to do something to correct it the next time. He never tries to correct anything. Does the exact same thing every time, and if it doesn't work, he throws a fit. He throws his helmet. He goes and pouts. Gives up a touchdown at the end. And he's not even out there on the 2-point conversion because he's pouting.
Now I look for Zimmer. You got throwing your helmet. You got to go. Get ready for the next play.
And who's out there? Mike Hughes. Who stops the 2-point conversion? Mike Hughes. Get Xavier Rhodes out of here. Why am I mad? Because this team could be good. They are good. They could be great. They didn't have this loser making $14 million a year screwing them every game. We saw the Moab again this week. The Moab? The mother of all prevents. Mother of all prevents. It's like they get a what was it, 11-point lead or something they had? Whatever it was, and it's just like, well, let's just let them score a touchdown. Just let them march down the field. I guess you shouldn't have confidence in your cornerbacks, so you're afraid, so you don't want anybody to get behind them. But if that's the case, then your defense is terrible. I criticized the Vikings basically the last 2 weeks. I criticized them against the Giants, their defense, because they basically had 3 major breakdowns in the secondary.
Had to be a bust in the secondary. Trey Waynes totally gets turned around.
And then last week against the Eagles, major breakdowns in pass defense allowed the Eagles to make it a close game, and without the Vikings offense being perfect, they could have lost that one too. And it's like, you watch these things week after week, and it's like, these things happen every week. Eventually, they're going to kill you. The way they killed you at the start of the Green Bay game, the way they killed you in the Bears game, both those games you lost. Those things will kill you against good teams. And I care about beating good teams. Going back to 2017 even, when the Vikings went to the NFC Championship game, they just fell apart in that game when it counted. All last year, falling apart. The year before, 2016, falling apart constantly. 2016, 2017, 2018, the last 3 years, with basically the exact same players, this defense has made the playoffs 1 out of 3 years. You're going to tell me that's great, that's elite? It's not even good. Did they win?
I think we did, yeah.
Having said all this, there is mojo with this team, particularly the offense. There is mojo, like they haven't had since Kirk Cousins started. There's a vibe here. You know, that boulder's starting to roll down the hill. They're getting it going. You just need your defense to actually step up, and they're just not that good of a defense. Now they're going to play Washington on Thursday, and they're going to win. I don't know by how many, but they will win, and they'll be what, 6-2? They go play the Chiefs, I think, the next week without Patrick Mahomes, and I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, that's a gimme. That now that Mahomes is hurt, it's not. Playing a good coach there. But we'll see. They certainly have a chance now. They could be 7-2, and so they're probably an 11-win team. At least. They're going to the playoffs. But is that enough for you? Is that what your goal is? Are you happy with that? Are you happy that they get to the playoffs? They play the Saints, let's say. The Saints with a much better defense than the Vikings and very good offensive play calling that can exploit the Vikings defense. The Vikings have to get better. They are getting better on offense. They are a very good offensive team. Their defense is getting worse, and that's not good. So let's call a spade a spade. This defense has to get better. They have to play better. I mean, the other issue is Dan Bailey. You know, he missed a kick, another kick. I heard talk, or I don't know if it was tweets or whatever, just talking about, oh, he's so much better the past few weeks. It's like, he hasn't had a single important kick. First important kick he has, it's not even close. Wide left, never between the uprights the whole way. I didn't see, though, the Summer of George offense this week. You know, I don't think they did the dump off screen to Rudolph, which kind of surprised me. I guess the defense was already asleep from the start, so they didn't need to. There's one thing I'm very glad, very happy that we didn't have the same color commentator we had last week.
Hey, is that Kyle Rudolph?
Because Rudolph caught a touchdown, and I can't imagine how excited that guy would have got if he had been calling the game. He would have been as excited as Joe Buck was disgusted when Randy Moss did the mooning thing.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss. And it's unfortunate that we had that on our air live. That is disgusting by Randy Moss.
They would have had to do some cleanup on that booth if he had been in there when Rudolph caught that. So I'm pretty happy this week. Gophers are 7-0. Vikings are going to be 6-2. I can at least be happy for a little while. You know, I'm broke because I bought that cauliflower crust pizza, but that's okay.